This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Hello, America, and welcome to the #1 radio station in all of Fort Myers Beach. Beach Talk Radio. Here are your hosts, Kim and Ed Ryan.
And thank you all very much for coming. Folks, if you were here, if I had a camera and turn it around, you would see how big this audience is today. I mean, it's fabulous that all these people come out to see our great guests. And in case you were wondering, this is not Kim to my right. It is Chef James here from Margaritaville. And before we get to Mark Stevens from Stevens Construction and also Jan, who is the painter of the mural at the town hall, I want to introduce James, who's going to kind of tell us a little bit about what's going on at JWB, the menu up there, and the food that you'll be serving up there. First, thanks for coming on. How long have you been here?
I've been with the company about 10 months now. It's been a fun experience so far.
Where'd you come from?
Originally, I came from Boston area, but the way of Cape Coral.
Cape Coral.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
where did you work in Cape Coral?
I worked at a place called Fishtails in Cape Coral before. Did a brief stint there and found my way over here.
Very nice. And you're the chef upstairs at JWB?
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
What do you got cooking up there?
We've got many different things. We've got a new seasonal menu that we're rolling out. We got some beef carpaccio. We've got a miso salmon bowl, a churrasco wagyu steak marinated in a chimichurri that we're rolling out. Every night you can come and get a local spearfish, which we have a guy that actually spearfishes the fish instead of line caught, which I think is really unique to the area.
Where do they do that?
What was that?
Where do they do that?
He doesn't exactly give me the coordinates.
Okay. Have you ever been a spearfish? Have you ever done that?
He says that it's about 60 to 80 miles out where he goes. So I'm assuming he goes in the Key West area.
Okay.
And then runs back, kind of like the Key West Express.
I see.
But for fish. And we get deliveries 2 to 3 times a week, fresh fish. It's not out of the water more than 12 to 18 hours before it's on your plate.
Does that mean something if it's not out of the water that long?
To me, as a chef, that's a dream.
Yeah.
To be able to get fresh fish that's only been out of the water that long, for me, it gives a more delicate texture, more buttery fish, depending on what species it is. When it gets frozen and then it gets shipped, the texture seems to get much firmer, and you don't get the delicate textures that we do down here in Southwest Florida.
Gotcha. And so what else do you want to pitch up there and tell us the hours?
I definitely want to throw at you guys the new sizzle menu that we got. So the new sizzle menu, 3 courses, $49. We have a bunch of choices on there. First course, you got a ceviche, carpaccio, Caesar salad, a Prince Edward Island mussels. Second course, you can choose from a roasted cauliflower cutlet for the vegans, a petite filet with a demi-glaze, a beautiful paella that we have with shrimp, mussels, chicken, clam, chorizo, and a Spanish rice. Toast that in the salamander real quick, get that nice and crispy for you. That's a personal favorite. We got a chicken au jus you can also choose from. That comes with broccolini and fingerling potatoes. We have a Sicilian sausage rigatone if you want to get your pasta fix.
Gotcha.
So pretty much we have a lot for everything, and then you can finish it off with either a sorbet, homemade key lime pie that we have, which is the brand's own personal recipe. And I have to say that our key lime pie is the best.
Very nice.
Honestly.
So for the audience that's here that registered for the prizes, it just so happens that we have a gift certificate for 2 to the new sizzling menu. What's it called again? Sizzle Dining. So your luck might be that you get to be the first 2 to experience that if you win today.
That would be awesome.
So is that mousse in your hair, by the way? Is that mousse in your hair? Mousse. You have mousse in your hair?
I've got some gel in my hair.
Yeah. Is that a normal thing that you do every day, or is it just a special weekend kind of thing? Or?
No, I actually have to groom myself every day in order to. I say you got to look the part in order to be the part.
Yes.
Dress for success.
Gel is successful.
Yeah, exactly. Believe me, when I come away from work, my glasses come off and my hair goes down, as they say, and my hat comes on.
How far down is your hair going? I mean, it's just gonna. Never mind. And that might seem like a weird question to you, but it's not a weird question. That people that watch the show, I'm very jealous of hair. I don't have any. So.
That's all right. That's all right.
And anything else about? Yeah, I don't think you mentioned the hours.
Oh, hours. We're open Sunday through Thursday. We are open from 4 until 9, and then Fridays and Saturday we are open from 4 until 10.
And there's still a brunch up there, correct?
Yes,
Sunday
also,
brunch.
Oh, I totally forgot about brunch. I'm sorry.
It's like that. I work here or something.
I know.
Well, you've only been here 10 months.
Great drop, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so we got brunch from 10 until 2 on Sundays. Brunch, you can get lemon ricotta pancakes. You can get chorizo omelets. You can get huevos rancheros, avocado toast with a nice poached egg on top. You can get crab Benedict. Pretty much, we've got everything you need at JWB. Just come down and see us. Tell us what you want, and if we can't make it happen, we'll try the best we can.
All right, and Sharon, I know you're watching. Sharon tried to come to the show. I think it was 2 weeks ago, but it was the week that it was actually the first week we're going to have Mark on, and it was just like a monsoon in here. And Sharon was on her way down here. Sharon, that is JWB Grill, which is upstairs from La Di Da, right here at the Margaritaville Resort. So, James, any final parting thoughts that you want to share with the millions and millions of viewers?
No, just definitely come down to see us at JWB Grill. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. We've got the best sunset on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Every night is a different picture. And if you come, let's say 3 nights in a week, you're going to get 3 different sunsets. You're going to get 3 different experiences.
And I did want to say before you walked away, this La Di Da area, folks, the TVs are everywhere now. It's football season, college football. It looks like they were previewing the Michigan game. Is there a Michigan game today? They playing somebody, but there's college football everywhere. Of course, they have the NFL package on Sunday, so you can come down here and watch the NFL games. And they have the big screen TV up in the terrace. And speaking of the terrace, we love the folks here at La Di Da, but we will be back doing our show on the terrace in 3 weeks. So the last Saturday in September, when people start to come back to the island from their getaway homes up north, hopefully in October, we'll already be up on the terrace. And we set up right behind the restaurant up there on the grass, which we love. So we hope you can come down to La Di Da to see the games, or to come up to JWB to see Chef James with the mousse in his hair.
And also stay tuned for our wine dinners.
Okay, that's a little teaser there.
Yeah, we'll be publicizing those. Those are also rolling out every month. Definitely want to slip that one in there as well.
All right, well, we'll see you upstairs. Can we get a big round of applause from this stellar audience here for James? Thank you so much, James, and we'll see you upstairs. Thank you. Have a great day. Nice to meet you, and welcome aboard. I did also want to thank Perry and Doreen for being here before Mark comes on. Come on down, Mark. I saw Perry this morning. I was walking. You were all the way down by Town Hall. I know your place is on all the way at the end of the island. Come on over, Mark. And he was doing his walk. How far do you walk, Perry? To which church? The Catholic Church? What is that? 3 or 4 miles, right? Yeah, it's like halfway down the island for sure. So. All right, are you guys ready to applaud again? Don't get crazy on us out there. Mark Stevens is the CEO of Stevens Construction, and we definitely wanted to talk about construction. A lot of things going on being built on the island, and a lot of insight and input that you can give our audience about finding the right builder and things like that. And first, let me apologize. It's like the bad weather only comes on a Saturday morning when I invite you on the show. And the first time was you were already parked. Were you in Lynn Hall Park when I called and said, "Oh, my equipment's in the water"?
No, actually, I was walking to the show, but
Oh boy.
seems like my luck followed again today.
For the last 3 Saturdays, it's rained on Saturday morning. Now, of course, we live in Florida, so it rains every day, but not typically 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning. But we're not complaining because we still live in Florida, and it's a beautiful state. It's a beautiful beach. And tell us about how you got in the construction business.
Yeah, so grew up right here in Southwest Florida. My family moved me in 1978 to Cape Coral. So obviously, it's been a great place to grow up and now raise my family. And construction has been, our economy here has been great for years and years. So, like I said, I grew up here, went away to college, went to the University of Florida, got a degree in construction management, and couldn't rush back to our area quick enough. So I went to work for another general contractor for 12 years and made some mistakes on their dime, and then started my company 22 years ago and love what I do every day.
It's amazing. James was on. Now you're on. There's always seems to be some kind of connection to Cape Coral with Fort Myers Beach, and which we love. And so many people from Cape Coral do come to Fort Myers Beach. We found that out when we were doing our races and things, because it's not very far. You can come over and enjoy the beach,
Absolutely.
especially this time of the year when the traffic isn't crazy. So when did you launch your company?
So 22 years ago is when officially broke away, went out on my own, and did some consulting as I was trying to get the construction business going, and initially started doing primarily healthcare construction. And 10, 15 years ago, kind of started thinking maybe I need to think out of the box and do something a little bit different than that. So from that, we've expanded. We do pretty much everything. I call us the mutt of general contractors. We'll build anything other than homes. We hadn't done a whole lot of this coastal work until after the hurricane, but now it's become a big part of our business, and I'm enjoying being able to put some of these buildings back in place on these iconic islands.
And you were saying you live in Iona, so you have a house, but it was high enough when the storm came through.
I do. So I built a home there about 6 years ago and escaped maybe by an inch the flood waters. And I remember building my house at that time. We weren't really concerned with water, even as a community. We were all concerned with the wind. So I built the house in mine with wind, not flood. And I remember complaining about how high I had to build it, and now I wish I was up a couple foot higher. So
yeah, I don't think anybody's going to complain about how high their homes are anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So you started the company 22 years ago. How risky did you feel when you decided you were going to step out on your own? Because doing something like that isn't something a lot of people do. I mean, there is a lot of risk. If it fails, then what do you do and the whole thing. So how did you decide you were going to do that and know it'd work?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. I never really thought about it like that, but as I think back, it was probably a pretty daring move. I think I thrive somewhat under pressure, and so when I left my current job, making good money, I took a big mortgage out on my house and turned in my notice and went out. And then I said, "Geez, what am I going to do?" And at the time, I had a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old, and I said, "I better figure it out pretty quick." So
that's motivation.
It was motivation. So again, started doing some consulting, and really the reason I went out, I enjoyed working for the company I did, but I thought I had a better way to produce a better product and a better experience for our clients. So I implemented that, and we've been refining that over the last 22 years. So a little bit of luck along the way, and a great economy, and fortunate to have some unbelievable people to work with every day.
When you first start the company, how many employees do you start with? Just you?
One.
Okay. And then you can't do it all yourself. So at what point do you bring somebody on, or what?
Yeah. So 2 weeks later, I brought, who is now a partner, a young lady, Terry Sobek, who again is now a partner of the company. And she said, "What am I going to do?" And I said, "Well, I guess you're going to do a little bit of everything." And I handed her a boxes of checks that I had written and said, "We need to figure out how to do payroll, and we need to set up an accounting system, and I'll go figure out the construction side. You figure out how to run the business." And she's with me today. So
sweet. Now, did I see you guys just win some kind of award or celebration? I was scrolling through your Facebook page or social media, and something was going on there.
Yeah,
it was an anniversary.
Yeah, probably our 22nd anniversary. Okay. we last year we won Large Business of the Year for Lee County, and we've had the pleasure of winning quite a few awards for our industry. So yeah, great people that drive me every day.
How many employees do you have now?
So we have 70 employees between here and our Orlando office, and that's majority is management type folks. We're a construction managers as most contractors, where we actually sub out the work and manage the work. So.
And so at what point through the 22 years did you decide you needed more than one office?
So great question. Another great question. It was about 15 years ago. I was kind of worried about, how much work we could capture in this area. And we had a great healthcare client, and they asked us to go to Orlando and put an office there. So we did that, and that office has thrived. That office does mostly healthcare work. We're down here in Fort Myers. We do a little bit of everything. So,
who is the worst builder on the island? Oh, you don't need to answer that if you don't want to.
They're all good builders.
No, I'm joking. No, what I really want to ask about that is, what advice do you have for people? There are a lot of people building homes, construction, or commercial. And one of the things, now that they kind of get through the insurance and all the hassle with FEMA and all that stuff, they have to find a builder. And some people call me and say, I gave this person X amount up front and then not showing up and the whole thing. And then when you talk to some of the condo folks, they say, I had to be there. That's the only way it was going to get done. I had to be there, make sure the contractor's doing things. I mean, so can you give people really solid advice on not getting screwed over, finding the right builder? What the process do they need to go through? I know there's a lot there, but it's important.
Yeah, no, it's super important. And it's a difficult question, but this is what I don't like about our industry is, a few bad apples, spoils the whole bunch. But, if you're contemplating taking on a project, you need to find a builder that has a good, has done work like you're doing has a good reputation in town that you can actually call and get references on. They need to understand the product they're building. Us, for instance, we don't build custom homes, right? I'm a builder. That's not what we do. You need to find somebody that has experience doing exactly what you're doing. And I would also be very cautious of hiring some of these out-of-town folks that have come to, or that's the biggest issue I've seen, is hiring people from out of town that really they may be great builders wherever they're at, but they really don't understand what we do here in Southwest Florida. So, and then call for references. As you go into a contract, don't go into it blind. Have an attorney read your contract. Don't let your builder get ahead of you on money, and you'll be fine. I mean, most people that go through those steps to find the right builder don't have any issues.
And if somebody promises you they can build it on the cheap, that's probably a red flag.
Man, yeah. So, if you're talking to 3 builders and 2 of them are telling you it's going to be whatever, $1,000 a square foot and it's going to take a year, and you've got somebody that tells you it's 800 square foot and you can do it 8 months, like, my mom always told me, if it sounds too to be true, it probably is. So, obviously price and cost need to be a factor. But going through the process, what you started with is probably not what you're going to end with. Mm-hmm. So you really need to make sure that that's not your only criteria. The other thing I would say is, hiring a contractor is kind of like a marriage. You're going to be with them through that entire build and the warranty period after. So you've got to make sure it's somebody that you feel like you can work with.
Yeah. And what is it that you ask for the minute you're looking for a builder? Do you ask for a license? Do you call the Better Business Bureau? I mean, for somebody, there's a lot of people that never had to deal with this before. They're still going through it. What are the things they need to do right at the beginning so they're as prepared as they can, which is never going to be 100% foolproof, but at least to put them in the best position possible? Sure.
Well, license and insurance, I mean, it's not that it's that difficult to get, but I would definitely check that. And then I would ask them, what have you done on the islands? What have you done similar to my project? If they have a website, go on the website, try to find other things they've done and get some references from people that they don't tell you that they've worked for. But I absolutely would not hire somebody to do a build down here unless I was able to talk to a few people that have actually experienced them as a company. I think that's first and foremost.
Yeah. And what is the right dollar amount, if any? Like, do contractors, do builders ask for money up front? And should they? That's the thing. Like, There's somebody that has never done this before. Do they know whether or not they should be giving somebody money up front? The person says, I need to buy supplies. I don't have any supplies to start this. I need some of your money. What do you do?
Yeah, so on the commercial side of things, if your builder's asking you for money up front, I would be cautious of that, right? Typically, we work for 30 days, send a bill in, and get paid, other than our pre-construction services, which we charge hourly for. On the residential side, I know a lot of those builders are used to taking a deposit, so that's kind of industry standard. Again, I would have an attorney review your contract, but I would also ask them, what's that deposit money going to, right? If they're saying that deposit money is going to, suppliers and subcontractors to obtain materials, I would ask for some receipts for that. So that's kind of the difference between commercial and residential.
What if you hear a builder say, I'm going to build you a new home, but I'm going to need to sell T-shirts in order to finance the house? Have you ever seen that before? Has that ever worked in your, never mind, experience?
Say that again.
It's an inside thing. I don't expect you to know that. People that are watching will know it. It's a whole Fort Myers Beach thing.
Are you going to start asking me about my hair too?
No. I see you don't have any mousse in your hair.
Okay.
So how old are you, by the way?
What's that?
How old are you?
Oh, 58.
58. You look great, man. And
this is where you're supposed to say I look 38.
No, you don't look 38. You look 58. I mean, so you have 3 kids and your wife has 4 kids. That's a lot of kids.
That's correct.
You need another office, bro.
Well, good or bad, we only have one right now that has an interest in the construction company. They all have sights set on different things.
I see somebody is asking if there's sound. Are you guys on Facebook? Let me know. Sometimes one person has a wonky computer, but I don't see anything malfunctioning here on the screen. So if you guys have sound, just let me know. So how did you meet your wife? Where did you meet her?
Actually at a fundraiser.
Really?
About 14 years ago. We were at a fundraiser for our local hospital, and we were introduced by some friends, and she was, going through some of the same things that I was going through at the time, and we decided to date for 5 or 6 years and make sure that the kids were all settled, and they came first in our relationship, and then we got married and just celebrated our 10th anniversary.
Very nice. Congratulations. Now, I don't know if people know this, but you were the builder for the Beach Bar. I mean, I'm sure people do know that. Yeah. The Beach Bar folks, they had the trifecta. They had Albert. They had, I think, James Inc. was involved in that too, and you guys. It wasn't James?
Yeah, no, James wasn't, but Albert was the
architect, yes. Was there. I for some reason I always put those two together on great projects.
I'm sorry, you are right. Jim Inc. was the engineer of it.
Okay,
yeah. There wasn't a lot of engineering. I guess that's why I forgot. Yeah. But yes,
and that facility went up toot sweet, man.
It did. So as you pointed out, I was bragging to you earlier before we got on the show, and then you set me straight. You said, "Well, it was a pretty easy build." It was a fairly easy build. However, that project has every component of all the big projects, right? So sometimes the smaller ones are the sleepy ones. That project, what you saw and how fast we were able to construct it, was purely a result of the time and effort and coordination that was spent in the previous year plus. Okay. So if all of that work is done and you have a great team, it makes the execution of the construction so much easier. And when the execution of the construction is easier, it goes faster and saves a ton of money.
Yeah, and those guys knew what they wanted to do. It wasn't like there was a lot of indecision on their part. They knew what they wanted to build, and they were ready.
Yep, I had met Greg Boyd on another project that we had done a few years ago, and he called me up one day and he said, "Hey, I want to come to the office and see." And we sat down, and in about 30 minutes, he said, "This is what I want to do, and I know it's going to be expensive, and it's going to take a while, but I want to be ahead of the curve." So there was no guesswork. He was very precise in what he wanted to do. We got the team together and pushed through it.
Now, you were telling me, I'm always fascinated by the number of pilings that go into the ground for these new buildings compared to what the old numbers were. And for the Beach Bar, I mean, it certainly isn't what it is today. So what's the difference in what was in the ground holding that building up beforehand compared to now?
Yeah, I just was checking my notes because I want to get fact checked. So there's 34 concrete driven piles about 25 foot deep on that. And on top of that, it's a solid concrete foundation supporting that building, the new building. Prior to that, I'm guessing there was probably about 8 12 by 12 wood columns that supported that building. So that building is absolutely going nowhere.
Yeah.
For sure.
So do you remember how many square feet the building is? So I'm trying to figure out like how close are those new pilings?
Yeah, great.
I don't mean to get in the weeds of this, but it's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah. So the building itself is a little over 6,000 square feet. So the footprint, do the math, it's about 2,000 square feet. So we've got 34 piles driven in 2,000 square foot. They're really close.
Yeah.
And then on top of that is a solid pile that structurally ties all of those columns in and then supports the building above that.
So you got the pilings and the concrete on top. How thick is the concrete on top of the pilings? Do you know?
Oh, so the piling caps are probably a good at least 24 inches deep of concrete.
So
maybe more.
you're driving those pilings 20 feet into the ground.
Yes.
And how long does it take to get one in? I mean, is it simple because of the sand?
It really depends. And different areas they go in. It just depends on the soil conditions. And I wasn't actually out there when we were driving the pilings, but you can probably drive one of those pilings in 2 or 3 hours.
Oh.
And what you're doing is you're driving those piles not to a specified depth, but to a specified PSI. So as that pile driver is hitting, once it gets the resistance to the specification, then you're done, because that's what you're looking for, is the resistance.
So some of them might not be at the same, but they have to be.
Correct. They're all pretty close in that particular condition, right? But you may go down, the beach a quarter of a mile, and you may only have to go down 20 feet, or you may have to go down.
Why is it different?
Soil conditions. The soil conditions can vary that much.
So they had 8 before, and I think Mike was telling me he's got 40 pilings at the Whale, which is across the street. Does it have anything to do with how close you are to the beach?
Absolutely. So, that's why every project is so unique. The closer you get to the water, the code's more stringent, right? So, that doesn't surprise me at all. Right across the road, it can be quite different. You could go to the center island and potentially, have a project like that that doesn't have any piles. And then obviously it depends on the weight and height of the building, right? So the higher you go up, the more support you need for the bottom of the building, for the support building.
When did the code change from what they had before? Because that building was there a long time, right? It was grandfathered in since the first Ali Frazier fight or something. I mean, it was there a long time.
I think it was before that. So, the codes have slowly evolved over the years. Every couple of years we get a code change. I would say the major code change happened after Hurricane Andrew. I'm not sure what year that was, when Miami and Holston got blown away. That was where the major hurricane code change came into effect. But every couple of years, we're seeing increased, code changes.
Okay.
And then as well as the floodplain keeps changing, right? So, we've had since that building was built, there's been a couple floodline changes to where you can build.
Right. So the Hurricane Ian comes through, and that building is standing the way it is now. What happens?
Say that again.
If Hurricane Ian came through and that building is the way it is now.
So before it comes through, Greg and team, they're going to remove the cooler. They're going to remove everything on the first floor because it's made to flow through. And then after the hurricane comes, they take the sand out and they open up for business, assuming they have electricity.
So it's built to withstand what?
That's a great Albert question. It's probably in the 140 plus.
Wind-wise.
Wind-wise, yeah.
And so, breakaway, there aren't even walls on the bottom, right?
So there isn't. So basically, there's screens that go down, and those are more security screens for at night. But the way that building's designed, in the event of a storm, those screens go up. Everything that's in there can be disconnected, pulled out, and it's designed for the water just to flow right through it.
This may be a little off the topic, but maybe because you probably got 9 different degrees, right? So Estero Boulevard, like when it drizzles like it did today, is completely overflowed like a lake in the middle. Why is that?
Well, it's the height of the road, the drainage, the infrastructure that we have, and all that's difficult to change, right? So you can't go raise that road very easy 2 foot. So it's something that, the island's always going to deal with. Major drainage projects aren't going to resolve that issue. There are steps being taken to better what we've got there. But, I guess the other thing is, some of what we're talking about is reactionary, right? Because what happened to Fort Myers Beach Sand, what happened to our whole area is still fairly fresh in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
But, is this going to continue to happen every year? And there's only so many things that you can change. So, but I can tell you this island is way, way more resistant than, obviously than it was in Hurricane Ian.
Yeah. You know, I was talking to Jim Adderholt, the vice mayor, this morning, and I said, once the whale opens, I mean, what's next? It just seemed like there was kind of like a flurry of activity, and I kind of feel like things have slowed down a little bit. That might just be me. I might be wrong. But do you get the sense that things are slowing down overall?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. So we have 6 projects in pre-construction services right now on the island, in various stages, from kind of finishing up the design to just starting the design. So we as a company don't really have anything breaking ground anytime in the near future, other than some rebuilds of what's here. But overall, in general, we as a company are starting to see a little bit of a lull. It's taken a little bit longer to get projects designed. It's definitely taken longer to get them permitted. It's taking longer to get the financing. And then, we have a lot of people that are half on, half off the fence. I think, just due to our economy, is tariffs going to affect us? What's going to happen with interest rates? So, hopefully in another 6-8 months, a year, whenever it is, everybody starts feeling a little bit better about the economy. I think we'll be off and running again.
Do you think people are really scared or worried about the economy?
I don't know that they're necessarily worried about it. I think that's just another factor along all the other ones that that I talked about.
Since the hurricane, cost of goods have skyrocketed. Have they leveled off at all? Are they still going up?
So what we're saying is we haven't really seen much go down. Some materials have gone up, some have gone down. But if you look at the overall cost of a construction project right now, we see it about the same as it was a couple years ago. What we are seeing is the availability of labor is a little bit better. So we're being able to execute projects a little bit quicker than we were even, say, a year ago. So hopefully that's an indication that prices will still kind of remain where they are, maybe tick down a little bit. The problem is, trying to get, prices down is going to be difficult, especially if we're going to start dealing with more tariff issues, right?
Have you noticed whether this is a kind of a crazy question, the deportation stuff has impacted the construction industry at all and causing prices to go up or not?
We have not seen that in our area. Good. Yeah, I think that's, in the bigger metropolitan areas, we really haven't seen an effect from that.
Gotcha. What you mentioned, you were working on 6 or 7 other projects on the island. Can you tell us what they are so people know?
Sure, we can talk about a few of them. I think we were just awarded the Estero Island Beach Club, and so we had our first design kickoff meeting. They've already gone through the LPA, so that should move fairly quickly. That's a 75 unit timeshare. We've got golf.
We know all about the EIBC. I mean,
all about it.
They've gone through hell and high water to get that building approved. So before you gloss over that one, when will the ribbon cutting be, and how long will it take you to build?
Yeah,
roughly.
We're hoping to be able to get through permitting, and design 9, 10, 11, 12 months, and then the construction will probably be similar to that time frame. But we are literally we just had our first kickoff meeting, so we're trying to establish all that. That's my hope for a schedule. Obviously, they hope quicker, but I can tell you that project is going to go quickly. We've got an owner there that knows what they want to do.
Yeah.
We've got a good design team, so it'll move. And we're super excited about that project. I mean, it's going to be
those people have been chomping at the bit to get back in that timeshare building.
I know. Yeah. So I can't give you an end date, but I can give you a bet that that'll be the first hotel back open on the island. How about that?
Very nice. Very nice. It's such a nice design, and they worked through, I think this is their 3rd one to finally get where the town liked what they had, and I hope everybody's happy. That'll be 5 years after the storm if your time frame actually comes through. So that's 5 years for those. That's like 2,300 timeshare owners that you either have to find somewhere else to go or haven't been back since the storm. So it's great to hear you're on that project. Can you build it as fast as the beach bar?
No, not quite that quick.
How many pilings? How many pilings for the EIBC?
Geez, I don't know. We haven't even done soil reports on that. That's why it's hard to give you time. But it's it's a good, efficient design, so it's going to go up. It's going to go up pretty quick.
All right, what else you working on?
So Salty Crab across the street.
Holy crap! I was just going to ask. I was just asking Adderholt about that. What's going on here?
Crab,
it seems like
it's going along really well. Design's almost done, so. We'll see, but hope to kick that off. I wish I could give you a time frame, because if I could give you time frames, it'd help me level manpower. But
yeah, when you say design, I've seen the pictures. Do you mean something else?
Well, finalizing the design. So you see, when they go to the LPA, you see the pretty exterior pictures, but the actual working drawings. So we're working through all that now.
Yeah, and that's going to be right outside this window. If anybody's watching on the Facebook, it's going to be right outside this window. And that was a very popular place. It had 0 parking spaces before the storm. And, all the new codes require you to have an astronomical amount of parking spaces, but they kind of grandfathered them in. They said, you work it out, you open the restaurant, it's up to you to run your business. And I know one of the things that they were trying to figure out, like there's no room. This is a very small piece of property. There's no room for a delivery truck to get the goods and services into that building. And I know it looked like they were trying to figure out a way to back the truck in, but only a small truck.
Yeah.
And they were working on something with either the town or the town's parking lot to be able to park on the other side of the pool and to hand truck the stuff over so they could open. I mean, he's trying hard to get the place back open.
He is. And, a lot of logistics, and those logistics that they're going to deal with operationally are the same logistics that you're working on, building these buildings. Even the beach bar, it was a struggle. There's really nothing around it but getting permission from other landowners, for construction materials and laydowns. So we're glad we're kind of first in on some of these because there's a little real estate to work with we're building, but it's going to become a challenge for all these buildings. But I tell my guys, hey, if they can build buildings in downtown Manhattan, I don't want to listen to our whining about building on Fort Myers Beach.
And they're going to have just like these umbrellas out on the beach. And I think I remember there's going to be a little ice cream shop that faces Estero Boulevard. So when that opens, and the restaurant will be on the 2nd floor, and I think the 1st floor will just be like a kind of place for people to sit around and enjoy a drink or so.
Exactly.
All right, that's two that are big projects for us down here.
Golfview Manor down towards the other end of the island. The structure remains on that one, but we are pretty close to finalizing a contract and hope to be able to, I want to say break ground, but really not breaking ground on that. Hopefully start the reconstruction of that in the next couple of months. So it's mostly interior stuff.
Is a condo?
It is a hotel.
All right.
Yep. So there's about 50,000 square foot on that one. The Beach Theater across the street.
Oh, you got that one too. All right.
We're in design. It hasn't completely been decided exactly, what's going to happen there or the timeline, but that's one that we've been working on for a while.
And that's recently approved. And the Beach Theater will have 2 restaurants. They're going to have a downstairs underneath where there used to be parking, which will be a nice outdoor restaurant. The 2nd floor is going to be a restaurant. And I know his name's escaping me now. Steve Boge.
Stephen Corey, yeah.
I know he was going back and forth on whether to try and do something with a theater on the 2nd floor because I think there's like 12 people left that would still like go see a movie at a movie theater. Oh, you two, of course. And so I don't know. I think it almost seemed like he was leaning toward not doing it because but anyway, so that'll be
I'm glad
nice.
you're talking about that because I wasn't sure how much I was allowed to say. So
yeah, well, that was all stuff that I heard at the
exactly.
LPA and the town council meetings.
And I think it's a struggle, right? Because for all of us that have been here for a long time, having that movie theater, there's just kind of an iconic, Fort Myers Beach deal. But does it make financial sense to do it or not? And
it's like saying I'd like to have the swing bridge back because it's it was cool to walk over or drive over the swing bridge. But I mean, how many? I never leave my house to watch a movie. You just sit out in the back, and by the time it comes out, it's on Netflix or Amazon or whatever. But I mean, I don't like to go out anyway, so that's just me. So no groundbreaking date for that yet either.
No groundbreaking date for that one. Another one working on is the address is 1901 Estero Boulevard. So on the other side of the road, that building is half there. The proposed is it's a beautiful building that's been proposed. I don't know if you've seen the drawings.
Yes, I've seen the drawings. You got Albert on that one as well. And Jim Inc. is on that one as well.
Yep.
That was the old Hoosiers building across from Diamond Head. And,
that's right.
And have a restaurant upstairs.
Yep.
And that part is still there. That was an unusual building on the island because part of it remained and part of it was demolished. It was like you demolished the one side of it and it's structurally sound on the other side. Isn't that weird?
It is really weird, but these storms and how they damaged these buildings and didn't damage other buildings is it's kind of unexplainable how some of this stayed. So that project, I would say that to guess on that one, that's going to be quicker than some of the others.
It seemed like they were pushing that one along.
Yep.
Man, you got all the projects we know about.
Oh, we've got another one. Here's our really sweet. Well, they're all sweet, but
breaking news.
Myerside. So Myerside, if you've seen the drawings on Myerside, it's a beautiful building. It's about 70,000 square feet. I would anticipate that'll probably be a little slower to get going just because of the size of it and complexity of it. But really cool project.
Any of those five that you mentioned, out of the five that you mentioned, what do you think will be the first one to put a shovel in the ground if you were a betting man?
Well, Estelle Island Beach Club, I think, will be the first new build. As far as us being down here starting to work, I would say Gulfview Manor will be the first.
But when you start the Salty Crab, don't you think that'll go up the fastest because it's the smallest project compared to the other ones?
You get open quicker. Yeah.
All right, Mark, do we miss anything that you want to share or talk about? I mean, that's great. That news right there is great. Now that we know you're on them, we know they're going to be solid.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I appreciate you having me on, and congratulations what you've done for your show in Fort Myers Beach, keeping everybody plugged in and on their toes.
Thank you. And where can people go to see some of your pictures and projects? What's the website and get in contact with you?
It's stevensbuilds.com, and a lot of our projects on there, and you can chase us down, call us. A lot of what we do, Ed, is when people call in and say, hey, we're looking to get this piece of property. What can we do with it? That's the calls that we like to get. What we don't like to get is, hey, I just purchased a building or I just purchased a piece of land. And we say, what due diligence have you done? Well, we got it at a great price, right? So the earlier that we can get involved and have a conversation about what you can do and start building some financial models is great. We love doing that for folks.
And that's Stevens with a V, not a PH. Stevens.
It's spelled the correct way, which is with a V, yes.
All right. Thanks very much, Mark.
Right. Thank you so much.
Big hand for Mark Stevens, everybody from Stevens Construction. And look them up online, please. And let's see. Before we get to our next guest, still learning this new equipment here. Turn that on there. There we go. I want to tell you about the Island Pancake House. I don't even need to read the ad because I went over there this morning and had breakfast. I had an egg white omelet with ham and an English muffin, and Brian and Stacy were there, and they're the nicest people in the world. And I want to thank them for coming to our show in Cape Coral last night. They live in Cape Coral, so they came to the show last night. They tried to get me to go to Cape Cabaret, and I said, Cabaret? No, I guess they have live music there, so we couldn't do it because we have 3 dogs and one that's getting really old and can't hold it in anymore. But the Island Pancake House is located over in the Seagrape Plaza. They serve breakfast and lunch, open 7 days a week from 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. And they will stay open longer if you want to sit there and talk to Brian. Brian's not as long-winded as Adderholt is or the mayor of Cape Coral, but Brian can talk, man. That guy knows a lot of stuff about what's going on, and he knows his food too. You can go to the Island Pancake House in the Seagrape Plaza, and the phone number is 320-360-3826. And I know they're closing on the 8th. They're going away for a week on vacation. Obviously, this is the slowest time of the year, so they're going to recharge their batteries and get ready for a busy season, which we're all hoping everybody has down here. So the Island Pancake House in the Seagrape Plaza. You know, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but there was a vape store open in the Seagrape Plaza. So now there are 2 retail locations open. I didn't know that until I went over there. I don't know anything about vaping or how to do it or anything like that, or that the beach needed one, but you got one. And it's right on the corner spot there across from the old church. And finally, Alex King is our second sponsor today. He creates dreams and elevates lifestyles. He's done the research and the homework, so you don't have to. They meet with builders, design companies, contractors every week, so you don't have to do that either, and they'll educate you. Just follow Alex King on social media. They do great videos. That guy knows about every single property up and down every street on this island. And you can give him a call right now. He's outside washing his car. 239-219-0336. 239-219-0336. Thanks to Alex King and the Island Pancake House. And now our very special guest comes to us from where I know you were this morning. Come on over, Jan. Jan is the artist. Big hand for Jan from this lively studio audience here. Oh, Jan's drinking a beer, too. I love it. Jan was just at the new town hall, and she is the artist that painted the Arches mural in the original town hall. And don't fall down now. There we go. Number 3. Let me see. Try that again. Now try it.
Hello.
There we go. And So the first thing I want to ask you is, you sent me a picture. I asked for a picture next to the mural in the new town hall, and you had a sling on your arm. What happened? How did you get injured?
Well, we don't actually have a kitchen right now after Ian, so we have a glamping kitchen, hot plates, microwave. So we do dishes in the bathroom sink still, and it overflowed, and I slipped on the wet floor and broke that in 3 places.
Oh my gosh, that sounds painful. So
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Well, and you got the sling off already. Holy smokes,
I
that's
got
great.
the stitches out and the sling off on Tuesday.
So you have a house on the island.
No, I live up in North Fort Myers, right on the Caloosahatchee.
Oh,
We look right at downtown Fort Myers. And yeah, pretty much lost everything with Ian.
really?
Yeah, bad.
So
Bad.
your house is obviously on the ground, and how much water did you get in? Or was it from the wind?
It was from the waves. We had a big tree, like a banyan tree almost, with Cuban laurel, went through the roof. So it's a studio / home.
Okay.
The middle part is a big high ceiling. Yeah, so everything was flooded and
Still
on.
now, though. It's been 3 years. How come it's taking you
it's
so
cleaned
long?
up now.
Okay.
We just haven't gotten around putting the kitchen in.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask you to stay close to the
Okay,
mic so
real
that
close.
people,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so the live audience can hear you. They're going to go crazy in a while. These people get crazy when they can't hear the guests. You should see them.
Okay.
So,
But it's all good.
Yeah.
We're back, but no kitchen sink.
yeah. So, are you in any pain now, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Constant little dull ache, nothing I can't handle.
All right.
It was my left arm, not my painting arm.
So, how did you become? What's your connection to Fort Myers Beach?
I knew Kay Molnar and Associates, and back in the day, they did the communication stuff for the water projects and the Estero projects. And when they were building the new town hall, they asked Kay for a recommendation about a designer.
When you say the new town hall, you mean the old new
The
town
old
hall?
new town hall, the
Gotcha.
bank building that they converted 10 years ago. And so she got them in touch with Ronald Kopko Designs. And then he got me involved, but Kay had already had murals from me, so she knew me.
Okay.
And it was Anita Saracita.
Of
and-
course, Anita knows everybody.
Yeah. So that's how I got involved. It was through Kay Molnar and Ron Kopko, and it was
How do you know Anita?
what?
How do you know Anita? How did you meet Anita? How did she connect?
I
with-
only met her from being hired to do the mural stuff.
She must have been the mayor at the time or something.
At the time, she was the mayor. Yeah,
Okay.
she was.
So, for folks that don't remember, when you walked into the bank building and the old town council, you turned left, and that was where the council chambers were. And behind where the town council sat was a gigantic wall. Was the
It was
arches.
42 feet long. It had, I think, 10-foot ceilings, maybe higher. And it was all big mural of the arches. And then there was a 28-foot mural when you walked in of the beach in the lobby when you first walked
I
into
don't
the
remember that
building.
one.
Yeah, 28-foot mural of Fort Myers Beach. There was a big oil painting of Fort Myers Beach in the lobby. There was palm trees in a conference room. There was a sunset on the outside of the building, and then the waves, kind of modern, around the building. And I did all of
cool.
that.
Oh, you did all of that.
I did all of that.
So, how long did it take you to paint the arches in that building?
Oh my gosh, 10 years ago. Well, I was younger and faster.
And you didn't have a broken arm.
What?
And you didn't have a broken arm.
And I didn't have a broken arm. I'm going to say that first mural was probably 3 weeks, working about 6 hours a day.
That's it. 3
That's it.
weeks. Do you have like a picture of the arches in front of you that you're looking, or you just do it by memory?
I researched. I have pictures. Did you see the pictures I left for you this morning?
I did not.
'Cause
Sorry. I know
emailed
you left them to me, but
Yeah.
we're trying. I was ordered not to show any pictures,
Yeah, but I left some for you to look at.
Oh,
on
okay.
your
well,
own.
I'll get
But
them from Jim.
I'll send them to you.
but I'll be
whatever.
there. Oh, can you email
Are you-
them to me?
Are you going to be there for the
Yes.
opening?
Oh, yeah,
Yay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I was
But-
strategically trying to keep away from the painting because Will would have shot me on site if I showed the painting before it was actually unveiled on Wednesday. He wanted everybody. He wants
Right.
everybody to see it at the same time, which I totally get.
Yeah. But
So how long did it take you to do this one compared to that
I
one?
started this one August 11th. And then on the 14th in the afternoon, I broke this arm. So I had 5 days where I couldn't paint. And I am going to go back, spend 1 more hour, and then I'll be done.
Really?
today
Very nice.
After
And
this.
so Star, our friend Star, says hello to you. She says,
Hi.
"See you soon." So Star is from the Art Association. Are you part of the Art Association?
Oh, yeah. No, well, I've not part of it, but I've judged their shows and I've
Oh.
taught workshops for them.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Now, how did you learn to paint?
Gee, my father was a painter, wallpaper hanger. My uncles on my dad's side, my mother's side, both really great artists. Uncle Obi, he just passed away at almost 97, still
Oh,
fabulous.
Yeah.
And then I was always artistic. I went and got an art degree in college, and I've been painting. I did my first mural when I was like 16 or 17 with my dad, and it was the Apple iStore, Big Apple with a bite out of the apple and the bands going around. It was in a retail place.
Wow.
So I've been 50 plus years,
So-
56, 7 years.
You make a living at it.
That's all I do. Make a
Very-
living at art.
Since you were 16.
Well, yeah.
Very
That's all I've
nice.
ever done. I show in a gallery in Naples, the Guest Fisher Gallery. I've been there a long time, and they do very, very well for me. That's where most of my money comes from, that gallery.
So you'll paint something, bring it down to the gallery, they'll show it, and they'll sell there. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I bring it down to the gallery. I sell my oils exclusively through them
And how many paintings do you paint per month?
a month. Well, till I broke my arm, I used to paint every day. I've done almost 900 murals in my life.
Wow.
I don't even know how many paintings. Generally, I treat it like a job. You know, you go to work. We have a beautiful studio. And so I paint 2 to 4 hours a day.
You know,
And-
I'm a plein air painter. I don't know if you know that,
Oh,
but
no, I did not. That's wonderful.
I'm totally making it up. I've never painted anything in my life. I wish I was a painter. I mean, it just seems like it's so relaxing. And what is the thing that you painted that you got the most out of? Your favorite painting?
I had a beautiful 4 foot by 4 foot painting from a spot on Sanibel. And it was these old trees and it was reflected in the water and it was just gorgeous. And it was purchased by Marilyn Scripps of Scripps Publishing.
Wow.
Marilyn, and she lost it during Ian.
Does she have a house on Sanibel? Is that what happened?
In Naples. She has a house
Okay.
in Naples. But I like a lot of my paintings. You know, there's one I just did, a boat blew up on my next, Kay Molnar's kind of vacation home is right next to our studio. And a big sailboat blew up into their yard after Irma. And I did a painting of it stranded on there. And that's a 3 by 4 foot painting. That's really beautiful.
And if you don't mind me asking, like, what's the highest price painting you've ever sold?
Right now it's $10,000.
$10,000.
Yeah.
That's
And that would be
freaking
a
great.
5 by 5.
5 by 5 painting. And what was it a painting of?
What?
What was it a painting of?
It's just a huge sunset over the water.
Really?
Yeah, sand and water and sky.
And now, did you sit somewhere and look at it?
Generally, what I do is I'll come down. Obviously, a 5 by 5, you can't paint outside the whole thing. So I take photographs and then I bring, do a little, sometimes I'll do a watercolor sketch,
Mhm.
Just give me a color guide, go back to the studio and I put it on a big, large screen and then paint from the photo on the screen.
So how long did that one take you?
That was well, I paint in oil with palette knives. So it has to be kind of wet. And so you can't, once you start, you can't stop. I'm going to say it took me about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And do you go back to your house and you have this room filled with all your painting supplies and you got your paper?
The whole center of the studio that used to be like the living room, dining room, kitchen,
Yeah.
all got torn out years ago. And the ceiling's raised and there's windows, there's north light windows, there's lighting for portraiture. And it's just, Greg Bielkini owns the studio and it's all set up originally for teaching and a fine art studio. So we have big tables on wheels, all our
This
supplies.
is all at your house?
What?
All at your house? Or in
No,
your studio?
Just the part we took out.
I
The
gotcha.
studio is attached. There's
I
3
see.
bedrooms then, which is 1 bedroom, 1 glamping kitchen and storage. But yeah, so we taught there years ago for a while. And then, it was damaged pretty well. But
Did you lose all your supplies in the storm too?
what?
Did you lose all your painting supplies in the storm?
Luckily, a lot of my paintings, I have 30 paintings at the gallery right now in Naples, and most of them during hurricane season, they have in storage up high. But I did lose about a dozen pieces. Greg lost a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
we lost a bunch.
So you don't buy your supplies from Walmart or Target, right? I mean, there's probably a better place to get what you need.
Well, believe it or not, I buy my mural supplies, which is just ordinary craft acrylic paint from either Walmart or Michael's.
I see.
I get my oil painting from Jerry's Artorama online.
Oh, I
order
love Jerry's.
online. I use them pretty, and yeah, it's kind of the deal.
Can you teach somebody to paint that doesn't know how to paint?
During season, I offer a couple workshops a year. Expressive palette knife painting.
What does that
and
mean? Expressive palette. It sounds
It means it's expressively beautiful,
some kind of sexy thing.
sexy.
Yeah. So
Very
what do you
sexy.
like? What's an expressive painting?
It's what I show in the gallery. It's beautiful skies,
Okay.
water, nature. Expressive means it's not photographic. It's kind of impressionistic,
Okay.
but realistic at the same time. You look, you know what it is. It isn't,
You don't have to guess.
yeah, you don't have to guess. It's pretty.
It's like those people that you see just standing in front of a painting. Imagine it's 50 different things and it just looks like a dot on
and
the
I'm
wall.
going to say you go with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that dot will cost you $1 million if you want to buy it.
Oh,
Put it on
yeah.
your on
More
your wall
than
at
I
home.
charge. I might have to shift gears now as I'm getting older.
So what other, like, if you went to, how many museums have you been to around the country, around the world? How many have you gone?
Oh, I've been all over. I've been to the Portrait Museum. I've been to every museum in London, probably France, a lot in Italy, Norway. I go on trips and I go everywhere. I'm from Milwaukee, which has a fabulous art museum designed by Calatrava. It's stunning. And I lived in Chicago before I came here, so I was really into the arts there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
London, what other countries have you been to that you've seen art?
France, London, Belgium, Germany.
Wow, look at you.
Italy, Sweden, Norway.
How many museums in New York City?
I went to the Portrait Museum in New York City, and I went to the Smithsonian and the Metropolitan. So I've
Wow.
been to those.
So who is your favorite artist?
Dead Jardin, Singer Sargent, probably.
Okay.
Fabulous work with fabrics and color, and love him.
Yeah, I'm to Monet.
What?
Monet.
Also great.
Yes. I just learned that word the other
Yeah.
day. No, I'm kidding. I don't know why I brought that up, but I think he's a painter, right? Yeah.
What?
He's a painter, Monet. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So where else can people see some of your work?
Well, you can go to my website. The
Oh.
paintings are at janellenart.com. All my paintings, it has inventory and sold. And then the mural website is jan-ellen.com. And if you go to the website, it'll say, I am retired on that website. I actually retired after Ian and murals and came out of retirement to do this mural.
Oh, no kidding. So
Yeah.
you're out of retirement to paint the arches.
Right.
Why did you say yes?
Well, I felt better than I did right after Ian, physically and mentally, I was in a better place. And it was heartbreaking to lose all that work.
Yeah.
It was just heartbreaking.
3 weeks on the first one. And did you see some of the pictures from that town hall when it got demolished? I think
Oh
I
my
still have them on
gosh.
my phone from Jim.
If you get back to the new town hall, Nicole
Yes.
Breslin, I put together a book of everything I did for the past town hall.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and she has that there. And and it's such a wonderful thing to be part of this. You
Yeah.
know, everybody is wonderful.
Yeah.
They're happy. Nicole is my point person. She's great. There's Will and Mike and Jonathan and all the contractors. It feels like everybody's in a good mood because they're doing something so cool.
Yeah.
And
they're
so
and they're,
good.
And they're going to have a new town hall finally after 3 years
Yeah.
of bebopping around everywhere to have
Yeah.
their meetings and stuff.
And you saw it this morning. I think it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was
Beautiful.
trying to sneak a peek over my shoulder, but then I saw Will just give me the stink eye. Like, no. And they
Did you go see? We put a drop cloth in front of
yeah,
it.
yeah. So there, I don't know if you know this or who did this, but we were trying to figure it out. As you come through the first door facing Estero Boulevard, there's a painting that was sitting up and down, leaned against the wall.
Yeah.
It would look like it was the old pier.
Yeah.
Do you know who did that?
I do not
Okay,
know.
because I know they're
Yeah.
hanging that up right there. I'm sure they're going to have all
And
kinds
then
of.
a long time ago, you interviewed me when I did that little oil painting of the arches. Do you remember that a few years ago with
I don't
I
remember
think
the painting.
Stephen Ray McDonald?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did something live in the studio. Anyway, that painting was donated, and somebody bought it and donated it to the new town hall also.
Oh, okay.
So there's going to be a little oil painting of the arches from me in there.
I was looking for the picture that that was donated to the town from September 28th, this first anniversary. It's a gigantic picture that we got donated. Did you
Oh,
that
wow.
had the names of the people that passed away from the island? Did you see that anywhere in the
No,
building?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're going to put that somewhere.
Oh.
But the building looks great.
Well, they haven't put everything up yet. It's a
I know
crunch.
they're trying to.
We're at crunch time.
when Will said he had to say a date for the town hall for the public hearing for the budget, and he said, "Yes, we're going to be in the new town hall." And I just have a feeling everybody that was working for the town said, "Oh shit,
Oh,
that
sure.
building's going to be open."
Let's go.
So-
Another thing that's kind of fun, though, is there's a 1/24 3D model of the arches. And that was the Restore the Arches Fort Myers Beach project. And it came to me in like 4 pieces. And I put it together and painted it to look like the old stone arches and made a base for it. And that is now at the library.
Oh, no
So
kidding!
you can see a model of the arches that's pretty accurate.
I didn't know that. So you know
Yeah.
where that is? That up on the second floor somewhere, or that's right. We'll figure it out.
don't know.
It'll be like a one of
They
those.
picked it up and took it away and said, here's where it's going. I
So
said,
are you
"Yay."
gonna stay out of? Greg just said it's at the library. Are you going to? He's on the library board. Are you going to stay retired, or are you going to? Are you out of
Well,
retirement now?
I'm 71. So, life on a ladder is a little dicey. I did the Estero Island Beach Club on Cherry Picker outside and all around the pool.
The Stare Island Beach
uh,
Club.
Yeah, that's the guy's just going to build the new one.
Oh, the old one. There was a painting
I did
on
the
the
old,
old one.
yeah, I did.
What was it?
There were palm trees on this tall building. Then there was palms and beach right by the pool. There was another beach scene.
You did all that.
I did all that. Pots with flowers on the backside where the shuffleboard courts were.
Gotcha.
And it's all gone, obviously.
Yeah, and the new 7-Elevens. Have you seen the new 7-Elevens? They're all going to have murals on them.
Oh, that's cool.
You're gonna
Yeah.
you're gonna be taking those jobs on. I hope,
No.
right? No, not at all.
Most of my work has been indoor, and no more scaffolding, no more cherry pickers, and I honestly I make more money out of the gallery.
Very nice.
You know,
Have you
it's-
ever heard of the name Eric Rhodes?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the publisher of Plein Air magazine and the conferences. Yeah, he used to be my boss.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. He used to run a magazine. Well, he still runs a magazine called Radio Inc. So he's an artist. He is a plein air painter.
Oh, okay.
He's got a house in the Adirondacks where he takes people up there and they sit out in the Adirondacks and they
That's
paint. Or he
wonderful.
goes to
yeah.
Las Vegas, the Red Rock. Is that in Las
Mhm.
Vegas? The Red Rock place? It's out there somewhere on the
So-
other coast. And they paint all those nice red rocks and so
Yeah.
so we're connected in some way.
Yeah. And if you go to my website,
Say it again.
janellenart.com,
Good,
all
because
the,
I didn't want to have to say your last name because there's no
No.
way I could say your last name.
at Kelsky, and
At
then
Kelsky.
one and done.
Yeah, that's why it's just Jan Ellen.
Right. And it'll have the workshop schedule or where I'm judging and stuff like that. on it.
Great. And obviously, you'll be at the ceremony on Wednesday.
I will. I'm excited.
Do you know? I know the whole ceremony starts at 9. Do you know when they're going to unveil the picture? Okay.
It'll
All right.
be unveiled.
Yes,
as
for
soon as
sure.
you walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really
There's
looks
no big
great.
curtain right now.
It
We
looks
just
great.
put my drop cloth up for you.
To make sure I didn't videotape it. Any last words you want to share with people about what you do and where they can find your stuff and life
Well,
in general?
if you're looking for paintings, Guest Fisher Gallery in Naples, 985 Central Avenue. Go on my website if you're looking for workshops. If you want ideas for murals, you want a consultant, let me know. I have somebody I can recommend
Okay.
to help. And if it's something special and not too dangerous, who knows?
And will you be teaching a class anytime soon? Or you're done with that?
What?
Will you be teaching any classes anytime soon? Or are you done
My
with that?
first class, I believe, I only teach during season, and they're like 2-day workshops.
Okay.
So I think my first one is in December at the Guest Fisher Gallery in Naples. And then I believe there's one at Big Arts in January. I think I have 4 scheduled right now. I used to do 12, but then it was every weekend. It was every Saturday and Sunday, and
Yeah.
too much.
Did you ever paint anyone naked?
What?
Did you ever paint anyone naked?
Any natives?
A naked person without any clothes on.
No.
That's not
no.
your kind of
I will
painting?
say this: you like Monet?
Yes.
I went to his place.
Yeah.
Giovanni and I painted in his gardens,
Wow.
which was very special. That was a long time.
Where was that? Where?
France, Giovanni
France.
outside of Paris, Monet's home.
I don't get out of Southwest Florida much, so that sounds like a
Well, if
grand
you like
time.
Monet, you would love that.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Jan. Thank you.
Okay.
And the painting looks great, and we look forward to the unveiling on Wednesday. And
Well, if this is my swan song, I think it's a really
Oh,
good one.
please,
it's-
you got plenty of life left in that painting arm. Just don't fall off any more ladders or anything like that. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Jan.
Okay.
Big
thank
hand for
you.
Jan, everybody
Thank
in
you,
the
audience.
audience. Thank you very much. We usually get a bigger audience, but the
Oh.
weather is sucky today.
I
So.
know.
All right,
Oh,
Jan.
wow.
Take care, and we'll see you Wednesday.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. I'm going to put it down right there. Thank you very much, Jan. And we want to thank also Mark Stevens for coming on. And obviously, we know who the winner of the prize is going to be. So thank you, Jan. Thank you very much. We'll see you Wednesday. And don't forget tomorrow, everybody. We have we have our show tomorrow at 10 o'clock with the mayor of Fort Myers Beach, Dan Allers. Seems like I'm interviewing mayors all the time now, all the muckety mucks. 10 o'clock, we got, oh, by the way, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I don't want to forget this, we have Bill Wachulis coming on from the Pink Shell Resort first. And if you come to the show tomorrow, we're giving away a day passes to the pool, and we're giving away tickets to the Chris Young concert. So you don't need to do anything fancy schmancy. Just come down to Wahoo Willie's tomorrow, and we'll just put your name in a bucket and pull out your name. And if your name is on that ticket, you're a winner. And then we'll have the mayor on right after Bill. We haven't spoken to Bill in a while, so we want to get his take to, also on, he's on the TDC. He knows all about tourism and things like that. So we're going to have Bill on right before the mayor, and that's all at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And we will see you all there at Wahoo Willie's. Thanks for coming in, everybody, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.